Welcome back to Capitol Review. I'm Mark Hall. President Trump continues to make good on his campaign promises, including wiping out DEI programs at the federal level and threatening to withhold funding to colleges and universities that continue to keep the programs in place. Joining us now is Dr. Omekongo Dibinga, director of Standard International, and he's also a political science professor at American University. Dr. Dibinga, welcome back to Capitol Review.
Thank you for having me.
We're always glad to have you. Dr. Dibinga, what do you think President Trump's anti-DEI agenda on schools really represents? You attended an education conference recently in Connecticut. What's the reaction?
People are so upset. They're disheartened. To be quite honest, at this conference that I'm at with the Privilege Institute, I spoke on Wednesday, I'm speaking again today. There are people, educators, who backed out of the conference who are coming from Canada because they were afraid that they may not get passed back over the border. There were students and teachers who registered from particular schools who were afraid that there was going to be a threat to lose their funding, and they backed out. People are scared to have this conversation. People are scared to do this work, especially if they're coming from public and charter schools or universities. It's very real, which is why numbers are down at conferences like this.
Dr. Dibinga, when we hear the president talk about the admissions and academics as a whole should be merit-based, I mean, that sounds good in theory, and maybe some people agree with that, but maybe talk about why others who may look like us feel that merit-based are just words.
Well, it's just words because everybody wants it to be merit-based, but this country has never been a meritocracy. White people in this country got a 400-plus year head start on anything relating to equality in this country. They were able look at the GI Bill. They were white that black soldiers couldn't get access to. You could redline, and you could run down the list that every opportunity that was given primarily to white males. Go back to the Homestead Act centuries ago that set them up on a path towards being able to build wealth as a community, as a society. And so when you're challenging that, anything that looks like equality is going to feel like oppression if you're used to having this entire society as your own. When people are talking about these schools and affirmative action and all of that, my philosophy, Mark, has always been it doesn't matter what test you took to get in, you got to take the same test to get out. And you notice that some of these individuals who are challenging DEI programs have no problems with legacy admissions for many of these universities where the parent of the student has a building named after them, and they may not have the skills to be there, but nobody's talking about that because it's about money. The meritocracy argument is complete hypocrisy.
When we talk about removing DEI programs, is it about the president maybe appeasing people who feel that it discriminates against them, but in reality, getting rid of these programs, it's not going to make their lives better, it's just going to make them feel better? Your thoughts?
Oh, absolutely. And I will say it's going to make them feel better in the moment, but ultimately they're going to feel a lot worse. This idea of DEI, just like many other terms, they have made it into a trigger word. But in these states where the Department of Education is about to lose its influence because they're trying to close the department, the majority of states that need Department of Education assistance for things like disability education, having paras in the classroom and the like, are red states. And the majority of poor states in this country are red states. So there are going to be no paraprofessionals in the classroom. Kids who need occupational therapy for disabilities are not going to get help. Kids with socially emotional disabilities are not going to get help. So people are going to see that DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, for us who do this work and who are practitioners and experts, it also meant them. It also meant the rural poor. It also meant kids with disabilities. It also meant kids on IEPs and the like. And so they're about to find out really quickly that they should have been down with us from the beginning, but hey, we're all about inclusion, so we're ready to welcome them back. But yes, they're going to be happy in a couple of days with some terms. Long term, they're going to be miserable.
Dibinga, thank you so very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.